Buildy here. That's my ride. Well, actually, my wife's. I just paid for it. I bought that a long time ago. We had it for a long time. It's a 2005 Opel. They also make Renault versions and Fiat versions and what else? Vauxhall. I do want one of those. There's a whole bunch of companies make exactly the same van. The only difference is that one has the little Opel insignia and an Opel drivetrain. Diesel, 1.9 liter, 6-speed. It's pretty zippy. Hardly uses any fuel at all. My wife didn't believe it when she first started driving it. She said something's wrong with the gas gauge because it never went down. She'd drive and drive and drive and drive and drive and drive and drive, and the gas gauge would never go down. She was amazed. Oh, I'll make sure you know it's not an apostrophe. Oh, how that went. I usually don't use this into the camera. But, yeah, it's got like a 100-liter tank, and you fill it, and you go for, well, we use it around here for like a month. Fuel's really cheap here anyway, so it's no big concern. It's getting cheaper. Not gloating or anything, but yeah, it's like, last time I figured it out, it was a little over like $1 a gallon, $1.30 or $1.40 a gallon. And it's even cheaper than that some places, and it's getting cheaper. Heard somebody say they expect to get down to 50 cents a gallon here. You don't buy it by the gallon, you buy it by the liter. It's, last time I checked around, it's been around 50 rubles a liter for a long time. 3.8 liters in a gallon, you do the math. But that's pretty sweet. And most people have machines that really sip gas. Really sip it. Don't take a whole lot. Where am I going to go? Just a little walk, little current events talk. I haven't been doing much on current events. I did an hour-long geopolitical George. That might be too long. Tell me in your comments what you think. I think I'll be getting better at it. Get a little more focused, a little more organized. Try to, I guess it's my job to interpret the really convoluted way they have of saying things in the Russian literature in English. Eurasianism's really popular in Latin America. I've got a book that I haven't been able to finish because I'm so freaking busy. I hate not being able to read. It's done by a guy in Uruguay. What I've seen so far is magnificent. I highly recommend it. The Final Kingdom. Pyotr Volkov. That doesn't sound like a Uruguayan name, but I think he adapted it. Anyway, the buds are popping. Spring is well underway. It's a little chilly today, though. Chilly and windy. Cherry trees aren't doing much yet. These are cherry trees right here. It's a whole bunch of them. Plum trees have blossomed. Oh, the tykes, well, Nick and Fame are sitting on a couch watching cartoons. Mom is helping Sophie. She usually doesn't ever have to help her. Sophie's pretty good at doing it on her own, but they set up production in the kitchen. They're making their soaps. Sophie took little plastic toys that are cute, little animals, and cast them into with a silicone mold. She made silicone molds around them, and then she fills the silicone molds with the molten soap, in which is infused various essences. Last summer they went and gathered a bunch of what was it? I always get those. Lavender. Yeah, that's lavender. I always get lavender and lilac confused, but it was lavender they put in them. Ground up lavender. Anyway, they're making those. And the kitchen's pretty hot, which means the whole apartment is pretty hot, and I got the heck out of there. Cold or hot, I prefer cold. But anyway, I'll put the most pertinent current event links in the description on this. And like I said before, it's slowed down. I think Mariupol is pretty much liberated. The Nazis went to, with some remnants of the Ukrainian army, no doubt, they've fallen back to the metallist plant, the big metal concern, a huge complex. And they've dug into there. I don't know if they've got any civilian human shields there or not. They've lost most of them. Russians been going in, and the Chechnians, oh my God, the Chechnians, those guys are great. I'd like to go to Chechnya and hang out with them a while. I said Chechnians, didn't I? Chechnians. Yeah, I get on great with Muslims. I don't have any problem with them. Razvan Kadyrov, he's a character. I like him. I think he's a lot of integrity. You can just see it. You can hear it in his speeches and what he says. You don't go around threatening people and making boasts and threats to everybody like all your Europeans do. Anyhow, that's about to be mopped up, and I think they're gonna link up across the little way there to Odessa. There's going to be the old original Novaya Russia. That was a thing. It's nothing new. New Russia that was intact up until Lenin gave it to the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic. I think it'll be Novaya Russia again. That'll be a good thing. Pepe Escobar, I'll link for that too. That was a great article. Pepe Escobar, he's pretty hooked up, and he's pretty right. I've never seen his predictions go very far south, if at all. He said Mariupol is going to be the industrial center of Novaya Russia. It'll be booming. Gonna rebuild everything, get all the metal industry going back in there. And it's got its own port on the Sea of Azov. So it's a good thing. Maybe I can get me some of that. I'm gonna fish around for something. Hate to quit doing this and go back to machine building, and hell, they might not let me here. Everything you do around here, you have to have some sort of advanced degree for it, except, to be a flunky. But there's ways around that, too. I'm an expert at tube mills and extrusion. And pretty darn good with casting plants. My kids are making soap castings right now. Wish I had a shop. I'd make some castings, but it wouldn't be soap and wax. It would be aluminum, maybe iron. I've done it before. It's not that difficult. You can make some pretty useful stuff that way. What's the white blossoms? Yep. I don't know what they're saying in the U.S. I don't even bother to check anymore because it's crazy land. Yeah, Zelensky's just about finished off the Russians now, and Ukraine can be great again. And boy, is Putin sorry he ever came. Yay, Ukraine. That's pretty much what they're saying. It's insane. But, with its access to the beach here, gate shut, it might be locked. That'll be a first. They might be fixing it up for the season. These are a bunch of businesses down here, and there's a hotel up behind them. This is all done private hotel and private places to rent to do business with beachgoers. This is a long time ago. This is an old area. I think they fixed this up, built these buildings in Ukraine, so they were probably pretty substandard. This is a nice hotel back here, though. I haven't. Oh no, wait, that's not the same one. Okay, there's another one over. It's brilliant. I've been in there quite a bit. My wife purchased a card to go visit it. During the off season, you go to the gym, go to the, got a bunch of noisy kids coming up behind me. To go to the gym and go to the pool and stuff. Off season, it's nice. It's pretty posh. Just that one just likes making noise, doesn't he? Oh, they're gonna follow me everywhere now. Okay, great. I kind of pause so they go by. Let's try it again. Well, Crimea won't be a part of Nova Russia. It'll always be Russia proper. Nova Russia will be like another state in the Federation. That's a good thing. Slowly building a Eurasianist economic zone. I don't know if I'll ever have a place at the table. It's very difficult for me. If I had time, I'd go to school and bone up on the language. Maybe I could master it, but I don't know. That might not be a good way to do it, going to school. Might be better if I get sent to prison or something. They teach me Russian there pretty good. That'd be the vernacular of the construction worker and the machinist. Yeah, kind of like America. You know, you got a problem with, book learning for a foreign language and the way it's actually spoken. It's two different things. They clean up. That's all kelp. That's all seaweed that washed up on the shore. They'll clean that up. And this is a sand beach. They bring in truckloads of sand from the east. I think they get it from the east. And dump nice clean brown sand here. There's no natural sand beaches in this area. It's all gravel. It's all stone, pebble beaches. And that's the drainage for when it rains, I guess, so it doesn't wash the sand out when they have sand here. They'll come and dump a bunch of loads of it on here and clean it all up real nice. Probably about early May, late April. The water starts warming up about mid-May. People come out here from Siberia and, places in the far north, and they think it's warm enough. I've seen them in April out there swimming. The water's 50 degrees. Boy, they think it's balmy. My science teacher used to say in high school, Mr. Arnold, temperature is relative. That was the most important thing to him. He kept pounding that into us. The temperature is relative. That's actually not very scientific, but yeah, is it hot or cold? It depends on who you are and where you are. Situational. I love Crim. Ja lubię Crim. Oh, it's got all the cool places there. Let's see if I could zoom in and spot some of them. Yeah, okay. That's an planetarium or something, or observatory. Oh, there's the railroad station in Simferopol. It's in the wrong place on the map, though. Oh, no, it's not. It's right in the middle of Simferopol. Oh, now it's not going to focus. Yeah, I showed you that in one of my videos. The Germans built that. Fine craftsmanship. Germans got a lot of things right. There's Sevastopol. That's where we are. Out on this little promontory. And you can see Stary Kursanez at the city center. Yeah, we've been some of these places here. You and me have. You and I. I'll see more this summer if I'm still out and about. Oh, the Cathedral of Alexander Cathedral. That's way up on a promontory. I would dig out my pictures of that and figure out a way to share pictures on some of this stuff. That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. The fortress at, I've been there. Sudak? That's not Sudak. Is that Sudak? Sudak's pretty interesting anyway. Oh, that's not Sudak. We're not even Yelty yet. Sudak's way up here. Alushta, been to Alupta, Alupshta. Yeah. I've been there, but I can't pronounce it. There's Sudak. Sudak's way up there. I went there a long time ago. Old Genovese Fortress. Just not going to focus. Crimea is a great place. And there's is that the new highway? No, they don't show that. This is an older graphic, I guess. Anyway. There's where you can buy your ice cream and popcorn, and they like Mexican corn here, believe it or not. Used to sell it in Texas and Houston in the barrios. You take your corn, sweet corn, boil it. They scrape off the kernels with a knife into a cup and mix them with mayonnaise and chili powder. Yeah. Eat it with a spoon. Serve it with a plastic spoon. I had it a few times. It's just not really to my taste. Had it a few times in Texas. I never had it here. Never had it here. Russians don't like things all that hot. So I'm not sure if it's chili powder they're putting in it. They might be putting something else in it. That's a magnificent tree. So what else is happening today? Journalists are going back in. The Dutch journalist that I met very briefly in Simferopol, she's going back for a third trip, and they're going to go to Mariupol this time. I'll link that too. Need to write all this stuff down so I remember. I usually check my videos. I scan through them real quick and make sure I didn't have any big problems. Excuse me, besides coughing all the time. Got a little, I don't know, little tickle in my throat for the last few weeks. Anyway, she's going back to Mariupol. She does her journalism in Dutch. She's on Telegram, among other places. I just use Yandex Translate, and I translate her stuff. And it's, to see, get a sense of what's going on and what she says. There's a whole bunch of journalists going in. A whole bunch went in last time. From Iran, no, not Iran, Iraq. And, of course, Italy, Germany. Thomas Roper, he lives here. He lives in the Donbass. He's been there a long time. He gets it. He knows what's going on. He's persona non grata in the German media. They only like you if you tell them lies. It'll be so nice with the dollar collapsing and everybody having to buy their gas to stay warm in Europe from Russia. They're going to have to pay in rubles because they've been bad little doggies. They've been obeying NATO. They've got regimes in charge of the European countries and the European unions that are have been unreasonably and viciously hostile against Russia for a long time because NATO told them to. Well, that wasn't very smart, was it? Now people are going to suffer, and hopefully they'll throw those people out of office. Hopefully they'll get rid of them. Or they'll switch sides and pretend that they were for Russia all along. Who knows what'll happen. I don't care. I don't have any reason to go to Europe. I mean, Western Europe. I probably ought to stay out of it. Some of the true things that I've talked about are punishable by law, especially in Germany. They could send you to prison for several years for saying some of the things that I said, although the things that I said are unequivocally true. and have actually been shown to be in a court of law. Several cases I could cite. They still put you in jail for it. So all this democracy and rights and all that went out the window a long time ago. It's sketchy, spotty, I should say. Some places you have them sometimes you don't. Depends on who you are. Oh, those are the old benches. Those are probably 70s or early 80s Russian. Most of the stuff around this neighborhood was made just before the bicentennial of Sevastopol, 1983. A lot of it says 1983 on it. Still a lot of stuff left, even though it's been abused by bums and teenagers trying to break it for no reason. Bum doesn't want to sleep on the ground, he'll shove that off into the bushes somewhere so he can hide and sleep on it. And they drag the benches around here all the time, put two of them together to make a sleeping pad out of, and they bust them up. It's bad concrete to begin with. 83, so it's only like 40 years old. They cast wood into it, which is real smart. Aggregate's washing out. They didn't put enough cement in it. Good concrete that's done right ought to last about 80 years before it starts getting so brittle it starts coming apart. Oh, they use beach sand and beach rocks with it too. They don't use good aggregate, they use convenient aggregate when they made the stuff. It wasn't supposed to last long. Brezhnev just had everything, I guess, going in autopilot after Khrushchev. Khrushchev, his thing was, we will have perfect socialism by 1980, so then we'll have new everything and everything will be great. So it's okay if it's real crappy and temporary. Yeah, pretty much what he said. When they built these buildings, everybody could see, these aren't very nice. Well, they're not for the distant future, they're just to get us until we achieve socialism. Yeah. It's a tool. That's the way they make them in Russia now. They're usually much taller, high rise. That's efficient. They're a lot more roomy. I wouldn't want to live in one. They have complexes in Moscow where there's dozens of these things all jammed in close together, and there's not very much ground around them for parks. There's a little bit, little playgrounds and nature areas, but you really almost have to hop a bus to go someplace nice, and people do.